their sashimi. 3, 2, 1.
Hello guys, Tune here back again. Well, something interesting popped up in the post. This is the Ikari Warriors Thunder Stick. This is a new twisty Ikari Warriors stick. I ordered this just before Christmas, missed out on the first batch and the second batch. Well, I got on the second batch I think, and it's turned up today, so pretty much this is what the box looks like. Sorry about the light above, I can't do much about that unfortunately. Here's sort of what it says it's compatible with. It's a slip case on the box. Let's have a look at the back. It just says Ikari Warriors. This is officially S&K licensed as well. So what are we going to do today, guys? I did ask some questions about this stick online. I wanted to know how deep the stick was, would it fit in a normal arcade stick, but no one bothered answering me back. So we're going to find out. So what we're going to do is, I've got this Tetsunoko versus Capcom stick, which has gone very yellow on the front, and on the sides, but no matter. So this is a half decent arcade stick. It's not a full width one, but it's a full depth as a normal standard stick. So we're going to see whether you can fit this in here. So that's the plan. And then this should answer all the questions, hopefully, if anyone is asking. So I'll get a measuring tape as well, so if anyone needs to know any measurements. So let's unbox it then. So this is in a slip case. So will this slip case come off without ripping it? Which is not looking good. Let's see if it'll come off this way. I don't want to rip the slipcase, so hang on. Oh, that's a bit tight to get off. Right, okay, so that's the back of the box. This is the front of the box. This box is apparently made out of really hard, it's quite heavy actually, there's a fair weight to this box. It's made out of really hard cardboard, and what you can do is you can actually use the box for the stick. So you can pop these buttons out, you can pop this out and this, and then you can actually install the stick within the actual box itself. Which I think is quite a neat idea that you actually done that. And if you want to turn it, oops, as I hit the camera, if you want to turn it inside out, you can use the back for the player 2 side. So we're not going to do that, we're actually going to install it in the stick. Yeah, that is some thick cardboard, as you can hear. So that is a pretty sturdy box. I'll give it that. So we have got some instructions, which we're probably going to need to use. Nice, it's got some decent sized instructions, even though it's got a dirty mark in the corner. So and at the top, but not like that's not too bad. So that's the stick instructions and how to wire it up and what we need to do. So we may need to refer to this. So this is the actual stick itself. So let's have a look at what we've got then. It comes with all the buttons and everything you need. So we got there the 3 different tops. I'm assuming this is the actual stick itself. Okay, that does feel fairly weighty. Oh, that's very clicky, as you can hear. Interesting. That does have a fair weight to it, so that seems quite well made. I have heard of 2 problems with who was it? I can't remember. There's 2 people online. It was what's it? Todd's Nerd Cave or something? Not Todd's. What's his name? I can't remember his name anyway. And Scarlet Sprites. Scarlet Sprite said he had it, and the bottom of the stick kept falling off. Which the stick kept pulling out. He had a problem. And Todd's Nerd Cave, he said that he couldn't get it to work on Mister. So we'll see on that one. I know Jotego got it to work on Mister. Said it works fine. So it may be a setup issue. I don't know. But we'll take a look at that once we get it set up, and I'll let you know. So that's the actual stick. So I'm assuming this is the body of the stick. Oh god, this is pretty big. Okay, so that is. I think these are basically just, that's an extra spare plate, which goes on the top. I think that is literally, is that a plate that goes on the bottom or the top? I don't know. No, that must go on the top. I think these are like spacers, and there's another one in. There's another one in here as well. Ah, so these are gates. So you can have basically a square-ish gate, or you can have like a 4-way gate. Okay, so you've got 2 gates to put on the bottom of the stick. Interesting. Ah, so and it's got a circle gate already on it. That's cool. It comes with all the gates you need. So that's a spacer, I believe, to go on the top. Let's see if I can get these buttons out. These might be a bit tricky to get out. Let's get these wires out first. So this is all the wires and everything it comes with, and some tops to go on the sticks. Oh, and it comes with all the screws and everything you need. Hopefully we won't need to use some of those screws. There's the one board. Here's some plugs and some various bits and the USB cable. What I'll do, I'll put these off to the side for now until we can figure out what we need to fit it. Getting these buttons out is going to be a problem. They are pretty tight in there. How the hell do you get these buttons out? Okay. Let's see if this comes out. All right, okay. These must be different. Right, okay. So these are different shafts to go on the stick. I think these give you different levels of twisting. I think you get an 8, 16 and a 32. So that's what these must be for. So what is this? So what is this one set up for? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I start there. So 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's a 12 way. So it must be 8, 12 and 16 possibly. Right, so that's set up as a 12 way, which I believe the original sticks were set up as 12 ways, I think. So we'll leave them in there for now. So getting these buttons out. Oh, man, these buttons are in there tight. I don't want to wreck a button just trying to get them out. Yeah, these buttons are a bit of a nightmare to get out. Right, okay. Alright, so these are a bit shorter than I thought. I thought these were going to be very long type buttons, but these are about twice the length as a sandwich button. So we'll try and use these buttons if we can. So I wanted to do this in real time anyway, just to show you guys what you needed to do to get this going. One thing you need to do is how the hell do you get these things out here? Jesus. Okay, these are in here super tight. But that is crazy tight how tight they are in there. Can I get this out? Let me see if I can get this out and push them out from the other side. So this should hopefully answer anyone's issues on how the hell we put this all together. So I have no idea at the moment. I'm going to put the box out of the way because we don't need it. Oh, you can't push them out from the other side. Yeah. There's no way to push it out. Damn it. Okay, so that means I've got to struggle. Right, so guys, that's going to be your first problem with this stick, is how to get these plastic buttons in. Because these buttons are in here pretty... I'm literally using a screwdriver underneath it to lever it up. I can't believe how tight they're in there. I definitely didn't want them coming out of there. I don't want to break the button or any other plastic. Okay. I think I'm going to use a slightly bigger screwdriver so I don't damage it. Now this one is not easy. Well, this might well be the hardest thing about this stick, is getting the bloody buttons out. Right, okay, now I've killed my fingers trying to get these buttons out. And then the last button we need is this one. This one apparently it switches the modes on the actual stick itself. I don't really want to take these out using a screwdriver, but I don't think I've got much of a choice. That is crazy how tight these are. Right, this is a special button with multiple switches and stuff on the inside, so that's an interesting one. We leave the tops for now. We'll put them over there, and then we'll move this over here as well, out the way. So, what we're going to do first. So I think the first thing we're going to do is put these buttons out of the way. And then we're going to get this stick apart. So this stick I converted myself to PS2 a long time ago. So we're going to have to do some interesting sort of taking it apart. We're going to have to take the bottom off. Unfortunately, I haven't got any way of holding this tight on here, so we're just going to have to go with it. And I'm going to put the screws in over there. The groove comes in super handy. So it'd be interesting to see how long this actually takes to get up and running. Apparently all the wires, they're all color coded and stuff as well, which is quite good. I may need a slightly bigger screwdriver. Yeah, I probably picked the worst screwdriver to get this apart, actually, to be honest. So hopefully this stick is going to fit in here. I'm a bit dubious on the actual depth of the stick, or whether it'll actually fit in here. Which will be a little bit of an issue if it does, because I haven't got anything else I could fit it into. Alright, so there's the bottom off. So I wonder if I could use this box to fit this stick in. Oh, you are. That's better. That's a good way to do it. Right, so here's the stick. Here's my PS2 conversion I did a long time ago to all these buttons and everything. So we're literally just going to disconnect all this because we don't need it. Will these buttons fit in here? Yeah, the buttons should fit in here, no probs. Okay, we'll use these buttons. Trick is, do I use these buttons or do I use the original buttons in here? Because these are sandwood buttons, so they're nice. So, tell you what I'm going to do is, I think I might possibly leave the sandwood ones in here. Or then for this video, maybe I'll swap them over. We're going to get rid of all this wiring because essentially we don't need it. There we go. So everything disconnected. Same with the stick. I converted the stick myself, so literally we don't need this either. These might take a little bit to get off. These connectors I've got are quite they stick on there pretty damn well, put it that way. So they do take a bit of a wiggle to get them off. And as you can see, there's not a huge amount of room in here either. Okay, let's turn this around. That one may need a little helping hand to get off. Okay, maybe not, it just breaks instead. Okay, doesn't matter though, because we're not going to use any of this wiring, so it doesn't make a difference. So, a lot of this wiring, and I'm pretty sure I just glued this in here. If I remember right, did I glue it? Yeah, I did. I put a tiny bit of hot glue on it. So, I'm going to have to take my plug I put on the back as well. I converted this so I could use it on other stuff as well. So I put a plug on the back, which I can plug a lead in, and I can use it on different converters. I started making joypad converters, and then you just plug them into this connector, which you'll see on the side there. and it would change it to whatever console. But with adapters and stuff you can get these days, you don't need it. So that went out the window really. Oops, as I lose the screws there. So we don't need that anymore. We don't need this cable clip anymore. We'll get rid of that. Tell you what we'll do is, I think we'll take the stick out and we'll see how the fit is. Pity I haven't got a slightly better camera setup. It's a little bit awkward for you guys, so you might have to bear with me a little bit. We're going to need to use these screws or bolts to mount the stick to the bottom of this. I'm still not entirely sure whether we've got enough clearance on the bottom of this, especially with a stick in it. I get a funny feeling we don't. In that case, I've just wrecked a perfectly good stick. Oh well. Alright, so we'll put them there. Now I need to release the ball top. So if I get my... where is it gone? So I'm losing screwdrivers already. One second. I find my flat edge screwdriver, which I seem to have lost. Just need to get the ball top off here. Yep, I'll do. Okay, they can all go in the bottom of your yurt. Right, so that's the stick out. So before I go ripping all this out, which I've already ripped some cables off, so it's going to have to come out eventually anyway. Let's have a look at this fit. Okay. What are we looking like? That's not looking good, guys. That is not looking good at all. I don't think that's going to work. I don't think that's going to work at all. Right, I'm back. Now that was 2 bits of glue, one bit there and bit there. Do you think I could get that out of there? I had to break it into pieces to get it out. Oh well. Right then, I think we may have an issue. Clearance issue. So if you look, the stick, it's going to be, I've just had a test fit of the actual shaft that goes in there, and yeah, I don't know whether this is going to work. So we're going to have to, we're just going to have to try and hope for the best. So we're just going to, I think I'll mount it. If I could mount it slightly lower, if this came off, if this top bit comes off, which I don't think it does, is part of the actual plate. And the other plate that it came with, which I put somewhere and I've lost it already. So there's the bottom plate. So it's not so much that, it's the top plate is the problem. Pity this top plate doesn't actually come off. It does look like it comes off, but you're still going to need something to mount it anew. So, okay, let's have a quick look in the manual to have a look at the orientation, how to mount it, which way they reckon that you should mount the actual stick. Joystick shaft. So which way is that got to face? Bottom view, top view. Right, okay, so should, because there's going to be a way you're going to need to mount it. So that's the top view. So that's the top view, bottom view. So basically, going by, if you turn it around, I'll give you the top view because the button's got to go around here. I might need to leave this out actually to get the button fitted. Actually, I'll probably fit the button at the back. There's the top view, so it has got to go that way, looking by that. Right, okay, let's screw this in and have a look of clearance and see if we have any, because I'm a little bit dubious on the clearance at this moment in time. Plus, how big is that compared to the original box? Yeah, see, the original box has got a little bit extra clearance on it. So we may end up having to use this to use the stick, but I'm hoping that we won't have to. So I had a look at the actual mounting screws. They are exactly the same as the standard Sanwa. So they are, the base of it is in the correct position. So a standard Sanwa type joystick mount is going to work. I wish this screwdriver was magnetised. Hang on a minute. Let me sort that out. I've got a magnet, a strong magnet here somewhere. I don't know whether that's enough to magnetise it. Oh yeah, it is. Quick touch. That worked. So, I think we might have clearance problems, but I may have to do an old trick I've done on a few other joysticks, which is basically bend the bottom of the actual stick out. Right, these have got... Is that actually going inside there? Yeah, it is. Okay. I might have to knock the bottom of the stick out a little bit with a hammer, which I have done in the past to get sticks situated in the correct position. Right, these screws are not really working. They are. It's not going anywhere. So I think they're going down into the actual plastic. Right, okay. We'll just go with that for now. Right, so that's mounted and it's not going anywhere. So question is, with the actual stick itself inside it, do we have enough clearance? So, oops. So here's is the stick. So we're gonna feed this through. So you basically got to feed the wire through, as far as I know. Which is easier said than done. Especially when it's a bit curled around on the edge. Oh, come on, feed through. Oops. I added it. I did get it in there the once. So let's do it from the top. See if I can get this. Right, okay. I think we fed through. Once you feed it through, you've got to put this up in there. You've got to hook this into position. And you push it in and it slots in. And it turns and you're stuck. Okay. So once that happens, I'm pretty sure you've got to turn this retaining thing and it locks it in position, I believe. Alright, okay, that can't come out. You just push it down and lock it in position. Okay, so do we have enough clearance? I don't think we do. Right, let me get the back then. Let me get this. Let me get this to rest it in, so at least not the back then on. So I mean about, I haven't got a good camera setup, unfortunately. I'm going to put this like so. It still doesn't sit flat, but we'll get the idea. So I think I'll just put two of the screws in for now. Just to see if I can still move the stick around. It's just going to give you guys a good idea how to install this, because most arcade sticks are not going to be about the same depth as this. So you may end up having to make a stick for this, you know, a box for it, or use the original box it comes in. Right, okay. I don't think this is going to work, but we'll try it. Moment of truth. No, it's dragging. You can feel it. Ah, just off, slightly off. Actually, that stick does look quite cool on me. Right, okay. So if that is slightly off, that's a shame, isn't it? So I am gonna need somehow to bash the bottom of this stick out a bit. Which is not going to be fun to do. So that is definitely catching. So, okay. Just need to mark it somehow now to roughly where the stick is. So if I put this on there, just so I know roughly where it's sitting, the stick itself. So the stick itself is sitting roughly, yeah, you can see, can't you? There's not enough. It's sitting roughly there, and then with that in position. This is a bit of a cheap way of doing it, but it'll work. It's sitting roughly there. Right, we're back. So what I've done is, you probably can't see it there, I've knocked a divot in the bottom of the plate. The plate may be a bit bent, but you can bend it back easy enough. And what you do to cover this up underneath, because obviously it's not going to sit flat anymore, you buy some 5mm or 7mm neoprene, and then you put the neoprene on and you cut out a small hole where it is. It's a bit of a cheap way of doing it, but if it'll do the job, it'll do the job. So yeah, that's better. So yeah, I think you guys are gonna, if you fit one of these sticks, putting it in a standard arcade stick, I think you might have some problems. This is literally a standard sort of depth. I'll measure the depth in there to give you an idea if it'll fit or not. Right, okay. So let's give this a try now then. Oh, perfect. I tell you what, I am tempted to swap these buttons out, because the yellow stick on here looks pretty nice. God, it's got a fair bit of throw. Not too bad actually. Right, okay, that works. Happy days. So here's the stick. It's in position. We've locked it in. It's not going anywhere, even though that this could do with bit bigger washers, to be honest. But I haven't got any bigger washers, so we're just gonna have to go with it. So let's take these sandwich buttons out. Well, I have to leave 2 of them in. Actually, how many buttons did they give you? 6 buttons. Okay, so I only need 6 buttons. So if I use my head, these might be a bit awkward to push out. If I use my head, I will put this button in there. This is the way in the mode button. So, okay, that'll do. How is it fitted? They're upside down, so well, at least there's plenty of room in here for these rings. So what we're gonna have to do is make sure, how are we gonna put this? I'll just put it that way, I think. Let me just tighten this up a minute while I'm not showing you it. Reason being because it's going to be a bit awkward to tighten. Someone has made a little tool for these. Yeah, as I lost a button. No, it was in the right place. So that's my first button done. So what I'm going to do is replace these buttons. At least the buttons fit in here, no probs. What I'll do is give you an idea of the depth you're going to need for the stick itself. So basically, mine is exactly 2 inches from the bottom of the plate to the top. You've got to take half an inch. You're going to need over 2.5 in. You're going to need 5 centimeters. You're going to need 4.5 centimeters clearance. Otherwise, this is going to drag along the bottom of the your arcade stick. So 4.5 centimeters, or that in, if you're American, that would be roughly, I don't know how this works, is 1.6 inches. So you're going to need 1.6 inches or 4.5 centimeters. Actually, sorry, no, I got that wrong, haven't I? 1.6, 7, say 1.7 inches or 4.5 centimeters you're going to need. So I think I will replace all these buttons. So let's get them all out. I think it's going to be easier just to push them all out. This stick will be it's literally just going to be used for the Ikari Warrior stuff. Oh, I found a box that'll actually fit in anyway. These sandwich buttons have got 2 little clips on them, and you've got to push the clip down to get in there. This one might be an awkward one. I understand now why some people have an over-top camera to use. Right, this one might have problems fitting it, possibly, with this ring, because it's near the plastic. I don't think this one's going to fit. Oh, it might do. Oh no, that's lucky, that actually works. I'm surprised that actually fitted down there because of the gap. I don't know whether you can see that just about fit. That's cool. We'll orientate them all in the same way, just for the elevator. We're not if it's going to make a difference, but I'm going to have to leave that one blue button in there. Both of these buttons are good. So what I'll do is I'll orientate that way, so then I can put the wire in half tidy. I do have some 5mm neoprene, so that should do the job for the bottom, I think. I just have to cut out a circle where the dimple is I've made. Hopefully this stick is good. Hopefully those reports I've heard about this coming out. And hopefully I'm not going to run into that issue, but time will tell when I use it. I'll apparently it works with the S&K collection. It's plug and play with it, apparently. That'll be good, because I've got that, and that's quite cheap to pick up these days as well. And it's got some nice games on it. Right, okay. I was wondering, right, like I say, whether the buttons would actually fit. Right, this is gonna... That tool would be so handy for this. Oh, that's better. That's not a bad way of doing it. Right, okay. So they're all in there tight. So, as that falls on the floor, wiring now. This is going to be the interesting bit. So it comes with a lot of these bolts and stuff, but we're not going to need any of that. Comes with the bottom plate. What I am going to do, should I leave the circle plate on there? I might put the square plate on the bottom. Right, these do feel like, oh, they do feel like they would break. Oh no, they do come off. Ah, you are. Okay, so it's as easy as that to take that off. I'm going to put the square one in there. It's a very similar design. Oh, while we're in it, there's the micro switches. Look, it's interesting, isn't it? They got little metal poles on them with springs. So I don't know how easy they would be to replace. Okay, that goes on there, nice. Okay, that's cool. Right, so, okay, so that wire goes to this button board. That's why it wouldn't fit. Right, okay, cool. I don't know where we need to put this button board. Up, down, left, right. We'll have a look at that after. We'll put that aside. Right, okay, so this mess of wires next. Here we go. So what I need to do first, I think, is get this connector. Get these jumble of wires. And get this connector in it. Connector's not going to be fun to get in it. I should have definitely thought about this before I actually plugged this in. I'm sure we can get this to fit in it. Right. Okay. That might do it. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I got it. Right, I think that's in there tight. Yeah, it is. Right, okay. So this is the buttons. So, how am I going to run all these? Do I run them that way? How much cable have we got? Do I run them round here and then up? Actually, that would work. Especially if I put this over the top. So if I run these down here, yeah, run these behind here. There you are. Make sure they're nice and out of the way. Yes, they are. Okay, so that would work. So why have I got that many grounds? That's for extra buttons, maybe? That's a lot of grounds. Okay, they're definitely giving you extra, so you get 6. Oh, right, yeah, they've given you enough for 8 buttons, which is nice. So it don't really particularly matters which. All right, these things do have plus and minus on them, which is unusual normally, but we'll just go with it. 1. So this is your standard. It's a lot of, okay. Minus. I see how they've done it. They're stuck together then. So there's your minus. And then your other 2. So basically your minus is opposite on that side. Yeah? Alright. This is pretty simple really, once you don't lose the actual the end. And I'll use one of these 2 spare ones. Well, I've got a couple of spare ones actually. So I will use these spare ones for this extra button here. And then these ones, I have no idea what these extra spares are for, but they give you quite a lot. At least they give you some extra grounds anyway, so you don't have to go messing around trying to make your own loom or whatever to accommodate any extra buttons that you may have in your stick. Right, okay. So I'm gonna put all these things together eventually and cable tie them, because it comes with cable ties. So I will be cable tying everything down eventually. So I'll put that out of the way for now. Right, so there is a button guide in the book of which buttons. It doesn't tell you what they assume button 1, 2, 3. I'm just going to go along the top row, I think. I'm just going to go along the top row, as top row buttons 1, 2, 3 should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So these are marked actually on the loom as well. So that's button 2. So we'll have that. Let's find button 1. No, that one's button 1. No, it's button 10. Ooh. Right, this does support a hell of a lot of buttons. So that is button 10. So that's button 1. So definitely giving you enough to accommodate a lot of buttons, which is good. Okay, so button 3. Find button 3, it's in here somewhere. Button 1, 2, 3. There you are, button 3. Let me take that up there. The buttons have nice covers on them as well. So they got the nice, not if you're going to get in there and touch them, like, but. So I don't need button 10, because I'm not going to use button 10. got there. Right, so there's what goes in this button. Okay, that's in there. So I need button 4 now, button 10, button 9, button 5 we'll have, button 8, I don't need that, button 12, where's button 4 then? Why am I missing button 4? Yeah, hang on. So I've got button 5, button 6, button 10, button 6. Aha, the yellow one is button 4. I got it. Nicely that they've marked all the buttons here, which is very good. Five and button 6. Very nicely done. I don't care if there's a mess in here, to be honest. You're never going to see it anyway, so who cares? If I had a plastic, you know, perspex bottom to this, I'd make it look really tidy, but seeing as I haven't. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, that's going to have to be button 7 then, isn't it? So let's go for button 7. Where is button 7? So we're 9, 8. Why haven't I got a button 7? What's going on there? Button 11. Okay, that's button 7. There we go. Purple as well. Perfect. Okay, so that's all the buttons. So now I'm going to attempt to put this reasonably tidy if I can. At least put it where it's not going to go everywhere, cause me any problem. Right, so these will go down in there. There's like a little gap in between the plastic pillars, but lucky enough these wires will actually go down inside. Oops. Okay, I'll do the same for here. Right, okay, so let's get these nice to give you some clips and various other things to use. Ah, that's handy. There's a spare joystick wire in here as well. That's good, just in case you break it. That's good. Okay, this kit is looking pretty decent so far. They seem to have given you everything you're going to need, including a couple of spares, which is good. Because getting a spare wire for that would probably be a bit awkward. Right, okay, so find my actually I'll use the scissors. I've got scissors here somewhere. Oops, sorry guys, knocked it. Right, scissors. I think this stand has got a bit funny, I think. It's got a bit wonky, hasn't it? Let me see if I can adjust that a bit. Right, here we go. Right, so I don't need any of that. So all this stuff is excess. All this stuff here. So I'm just going to find where the hell I put all those clips. Oh, I just knocked them all on the floor. Yeah, great. This is what happens when you go in a room to do anything. Sorry guys, if you see the top of my head, I dropped all the bloody cable ties on the floor. Right, try again then. So all this, I'm just going to put like so. I'm going to shove it in there because it's pretty much just excess. I think I'll just do it like that. That'll do for that. And all this stuff then, I've got to put all this down, so I've got to be able to flatten it off a bit. Okay. Like I say, it doesn't have to be too tidy because literally it's going to have a metal plate on it and you're not going to be able to see inside it, so it doesn't really matter. Right, okay. Nice. Could do a cable tying that down. There's nothing to cable tie it to. I might just have to go with that. Okay, so question is, what's the 4-button thing for? What is that for? What is this 4-button board for? Eight-way switch, switchable cover, gold leaf push buttons. I'm just trying to figure out what that board is for. Do I actually need it? Or is this something I can keep loose on the inside? Right, okay, so what's that? Switchable gate, switchable joystick gate, 4 knobs, Allen wrench, USB cable, harness, super joystick PCB, mounting spacer, we don't need that, panel. What is that board for though? Harness for 2 and 1 button, USB cable. Doesn't say. Doesn't even show you using it either. No instructions on what to do with it. So what do you do with that? Okay. Gamepad, Pro button, pin function. Right, okay, we've done that. Right, the board, wiring instructions. It's the calibration PCB. Calibration in 6. By following these instructions, you'll be able to set up and use the GPS with ease. Straightforward design, and I've used this calibration PCB apparently. Okay, the book does have quite a lot of information in here. Right, okay, so this is for calibration. So this is probably something you're only going to ever use now and then. But I wonder, that cutout I did for you, that original cutout that I made in here, I wonder if this is not going to fit in there. Yeah. Probably asking for too much. I was just wondering whether I could get that to actually fit in there. But that's not going to work. Okay. Right. So let's turn this over and have a look at. Let's have a look what we've made. So that's what it looks like. There's the stick. There's the stick. There you feel better buttons, but we'll just go with what we got. That's a 12-way stick. So one last thing to do is the USB cable, which is this bit. So this is the last thing to do. Okay, so it's not a massively long USB cable, but it's about, was it one? It's about 1.5 meters, something like that, roughly. So, and this goes in the side. With everything in the way now, so that's going to be tricky to get in. Okay, that's on the side. And then we are going to run this up here. So, it doesn't give me much room on there either. Okay, that's all right, I can do that. And then we're going to put this through the strain relief, which I think will go something like that. I think. Yeah, something like that, I reckon. And then apparently there's a little strain release thing in here as well. I'll pull that out. It's a little grommet. So I don't know whether, I don't think that grommet's going to fit in there. No, it isn't. Okay, so I'm going to have to, we're either going to have to find another grommet or something, or we'll just go with that as is. That was the best way to do this though. Should be better that way. Or would it be better going over? No, it's got to be that way, hasn't it? I don't want to break this cable. That's not going anywhere essentially. Right, okay. So apart from this, I think we're pretty much done. So I think for the purpose of this at the moment, I'm just going to stick this out the side by here in a minute, just so I can calibrate this thing once I put the case back on it. For now, so let's get the case on. And then I'll test it. Let's see if I can find the screws now. Well guys, that is how to put this stick together. And all the bits and bobs and the things I've had to do to actually get it to fit in it. Which is, I had a feeling I would have problems, to be honest. I didn't think it was going to be an easy operation, but we got them in it. And what I'll do is I'll come back with once I get this set up now, I'll come back with a video and I'll show it in use. So we'll test it out on the S&K collection and we'll see if we can get it. I'll see if I can get it running in main and tell you how easy or hard that is to get it working, and we'll try it out on some other stuff. So let's flip this over. Apart from the board that's sticking out the back, this is what the finish. Oops, twisted again, sorry guys. This so this is the final article. Okay, feels nice, and we may need to change that to an 8-way. I'll need to test it first and see what happens.